Hello, my little Marley May. I haven't spoken to you for a little while. We haven't been in our house. Now we're back in here and I've got a story that I can read you. Do you remember when we were reading about Stripey, the little emu that got lost? He was looking for everywhere he needed to go. I have another one called Scrambled Egg. There's Stripey and his sister. Do you remember his sister? What's her name? Forgotten her name. I'm going to have a look. And that was their friend, the kangaroo. That's an egg. An egg in a kangaroo's pouch. Do you remember that kangaroos, they have little babies that come out and they crawl their way up and they go inside their mummy's pouch. So they have a little live baby, but they don't have eggs. What's that? Emus, they lay eggs. Do you remember the story with Stripey, how his mum lays the eggs and then she goes off and Dad has to raise the chicks and look after them? It's a good way to be, isn't it? How about if I read the story? Because it's too big. It's enormous. So I'll read some of the story and then I'll show you the pictures. Does that sound like a plan? Good. Stripey the emu chick lived at Fair Dinkum Flats with his 29 brothers and sisters and their parents, Crikey and Sheila. Do you remember them? Crikey and Sheila. Sheila in Australia is a word for a lady or a girl. So Sheila. And crikey is something that Australians say when it's an amazing. It's like, oh, crikey. It's like, wow, that's amazing. You'll have to say that. Crikey, Mum, that's delicious dinner. Because your mum's a good Sheila. Stripey and his sister Leggy. That was her name, Leggy. Stripey and his sister Leggy often went off running together. Everyone knows that emus are the fastest runners of all in Australia. And both chicks were determined to run as fast as Crikey and Sheila when they grew up. Can you see all there's Mum and Dad's legs. There's Crikey and Sheila. Look, there's all the babies. What are they looking at? He's looking at a caterpillar. They're all curious about the world. They're looking at a fly or a butterfly. And there's Leggy and Stripey. They're running. Wow. What are they doing down there? They're asleep. Gosh, there's a lot of them, isn't there? One day, the two chicks were running at Belly Button Bluff when suddenly they heard a loud squawking and screeching. It came from the old ghost gum where Fluster the Corella, a corella is like a white bird, like a big cockatoo that I think your daddy took some pictures of when he was here, but they're a little bit smaller. They've got little pink bits around their eyes. Sometimes they have little pink bits here. Fluster the Corella had her nesting hole in the old grey ghost gum. Fluster was jumping up and down and flapping her wings. She was very upset. Look, she's going, ah, ah, making lots of noise. She looks very upset. What's wrong? Asked Stripey. My egg! My egg! She shrieked, pointing at a small white egg lying at the base of the gum tree. It must have fallen out, screeched Fluster. It needs to stay warm for my chick to hatch. What can I do? What can I do? Oh dear. There's Fluster and Leggy and Stripey looking at the egg. I suppose they don't have any hands to just pick it up, huh? I wonder what they'll do. It has to stay warm. Stripey and Leggy thought very hard. I know, Leggy said. We could ask Bluey, the red kangaroo, to put the egg in her warm pouch. until we can get it back into the nest. Fluster flapped her wings. That's a great idea, but hurry, please hurry. Oh dear, you see, that's the nest. Looking from inside the nest, there's the other 2 eggs, and they're looking right down. Lucky it didn't break, huh? And there's Leggy and Stripey, having a bit of a chit-chat about what they can do. Stripey and Leggy ran fast as they could to Dust Bucket Gully, where Bluey lived with her Joey, Socks. Do you remember a Joey? That's a baby kangaroo. His name is called Socks. The big red kangaroo looked up as they skidded to a stop beside her, because they were running so fast. Hey, what's the hurry, you two? She asked. Can you see? They've come skidding in with their feet. There's the baby kangaroo Socks. There's Big Red. Wow, she's big, huh? Can't wait to show you some kangaroos when you come over. Stripey, oh, please, Stripey panted. Could you come to Belly Button Bluff? That's hard to say quick. Belly Button Bluff. One of Fluster's eggs has fallen onto the ground. We hoped you might put it in your pouch while we work out how to get it back in the nest. Bluey smiled. Sure, I'd be happy to help. Come on, let's go. Socks jumped headfirst into the pouch and they all set off. There's his feet and his tail. He's just jumped in, whoop, straight inside. Let's go, Mum. Back at Belly Button Bluff, Fluster squawked with relief when she saw the chicks with Bluey. Socks climbed out of the warm pouch and Bluey carefully picked up the egg and placed it inside. They all looked up at the nest hole, which was far too high in the gum tree for anyone to reach. Socks hoped the problem would be solved before night time because he wants to get back into his nice, comfy, soft, warm bed. You see them? Oh dear. They're all looking way up there. How are they going to get the egg up there? That's a bit tricky, isn't it? Just then, Bluey's eyes widened. Uh-oh. I felt the egg move. Maybe it's hatching. It can't be. It's too early. Flustered shrieked. Did you see his face? Uh-oh. Did your mummy make those faces? Uh-oh. I wonder what it's doing. They pulled open the pouch and everyone peered inside. Sure enough, the small white egg was jiggling and wiggling, and there was a tiny hole in the shell. Bluey reached in and took it out, placed it gently on the ground in front of them. Can you see? They're all looking inside the pouch. Can you see the little tiny hole? There's Fluster, Leggy, Stripey, and Socks, the baby kangaroo. Wow, I see a baby. Fluster clapped her wings in anticipation. There was more jiggling and more wiggling, and the hole grew larger and larger. A nose appeared. Birds don't have noses. A nose? Fluster was so amazed that she couldn't even squawk, screech, or shriek. The egg opened some more and out tumbled the strangest creature anyone had ever seen. You see? A little hole, a bigger hole. It's a funny looking thing. And what is That. It's not a bird. It's not a kangaroo. It's not an emu. What is it? It was definitely not a corella chick. Not a chick of any kind. A chick is a baby bird. Sorry, Nanny Deb forgot to tell you. They all looked at Fluster. How did she get one of them? Who giggled, oops. I guess it didn't fall from my nest after all. I never was much good at counting, she said. Someone else must have lost it there. What is it? Socks asked his mum. I don't know, Bluey replied. It looks like a grub. A grub's like a worm that comes out of the ground. Have another look. What is it? It's got hands and feet, big round tummy, black eyes and a little nose. Does it look like Marley? No, because you're beautiful. What shall we do with it? Asked Leggy. We need to find its mum, Stripey said. But we don't know who she is, except we know she's not a bird. Good luck, squawked Fluster, and flew up to her nest to keep her own eggs warm. Bluey carefully picked up the squirming grub and popped it back in her pouch. What other animals lay eggs? She wondered. I think in the other book we had a story about one of these creatures. They had prickles. Do you remember? One that was trying to hide and look like a brush. I know, said Leggy. How about Snap the swamp turtle? She lays eggs. And it's not too far from Broken Springs. You see? Here's Bluey. She picked up the little grub very gently, put it in her pouch. Snap was dozing in the shallows at Broken Springs when they arrived. Hi, Snap, Bluey greeted her. Can you help us, please? We're looking for the mother of this baby. And she strapped open her pouch for him to look inside. Snap could see the tiny hairless creature. Goodness. Well, it isn't a turtle. What is it? We don't know, Stripey told her. It hatched from an egg, but it isn't a bird. And now we know it isn't a turtle. Have you any idea who its mother could be? What about Flatfoot the platypus? Suggested Snap. She lays eggs. She lives just upstream in Two Bob Bank. So they took off for Flatfoot the platypus. They're an unusual creature. Hopefully they've got a picture of them. Hopefully we could find platypus for you when we go camping. At Two Bob Bank. Oh, I forgot to show you. Sorry. There's Snap the turtle. So they're long-necked turtles and their head comes all the way out and it bites you on the finger if you get your fingers too close. Sometimes cars run over them and crack their shells. So if we see them and they're okay, then we can just pop them in a creek. But if you pick them up, their neck comes all the way out and bites you on the finger. At Two Bob Bank, Flatfoot was hiding in the reeds. Platypuses are never fond of visitors. Excuse us for disturbing you, Flatfoot, said Leggy politely. But we hope you can help us. We're looking for the mother of this baby. Flatfoot came out of the reeds and Bluey showed her the grub. Goodness, well, that certainly isn't a platypus baby. What is it? You see Flatfoot? So a platypus It's got a beak like a duck, and it's got beautiful, beautiful orange fur. It's got little feet that are webbed like a duck as well. It has a big flat tail, and it lays eggs, and it feeds its baby milk. It's called a monotreme. I think we spoke about those before. There's only 2. And if you can remember what the other one was. Well, we don't know what it is, Leggy said. It hatched from an egg. It isn't a bird, and it isn't a turtle, and now we know it isn't a platypus. Have you any idea who its mother could be? What about Struth, the frill-necked lizard? She lays eggs. She lives beyond Black Stump in Vegemite Valley. Do you eat Vegemite? Bluey thanked Flatfoot, and they left to find Struth. You see? There's Flatfoot the platypus. There's a little grub hiding in the pouch. There's Socks, the baby kangaroo's hiding, and Leggy and Stripey. Well, at least the baby's warm. At Vegemite Valley, they found Struth sunbaking on top of a black stump. "Hi, Struth," said Bluey. "Can you help us? We're looking for the mother of this baby." And she opened the pouch, and Struth peered in. "Goodness, well, that isn't a lizard." "What is it?" "We don't know," Socks said boldly. "It hatched from an egg, but it isn't a bird. It isn't a turtle, and it isn't a platypus, and now we know it isn't a lizard." "Have you any idea who its mother could be?" Struth replied. "How about Shuffle, the echidna?" Do you remember what an echidna is? I'll show you in a minute. She lays eggs. She lives on Don't Stand Still Hill. I wonder what that is. It sounds like it might be hot. Don't stand still. What a funny name for a hill, Socks thought, and they set off again. So there's Struth, the lizard. He's got a big frill around his neck, and when he gets cross and he wants to frighten off predators or things that want to eat him, he puffs it right out. He can make a big noise. They get scared. There's Bluey and Socks, and Leggy and Stripey. Shuffle was eating lunch when they found her. "Hi, Shuffle," said Bluey. "Can you help us? We're looking for the mother of this baby." And she showed Shuffle the tiny grub in her pouch. "Goodness gracious, that's a puggle!" "A puggle?" Socks replied. "What on earth is that?" "It's a baby echidna, of course," Shuffle told him, and she patted her tummy. Can you see? There's the echidna. She's got spikes, big long claws. She digs around in the earth and she eats ants. With her big long nose, her tongue comes out. She can put her nose into ant hills, termite hills. And she patted her tummy. Then she felt it again. She looked down in horror. Her pouch was empty. "Oh, my precious egg," she cried. "It's disappeared." She thought for a moment and then she looked up at Bluey. "Where did you find this puggle?" "It hatched from an egg. We found it at Belly Button Bluff," she said. "That's where I was this morning," she exclaimed. "That egg must have fallen out of my pouch. Oh, thank you for bringing my puggle back to me." Can you see? She's looking in her pouch. I think she's a little bit forgetful. She forgot her baby. Bluey gently lifted the tiny wriggling puggle out and laid it on the ground. Shuffle nuzzled her baby gently and tenderly back into her own little pouch. Bluey, Socks, Stripey and Leggy all smiled. It's tiny, tiny, tiny little puggle. It'll grow up to be an echidna with all those spikes. Yay! Found its home. Found its mummy. The next morning, however, their smiles vanished. They had been standing on Don't Stand Still Hill for too long, and ants were now scurrying up and down their legs. "Let's get out of here," Bluey said as she hopped and danced. Socks dived into her pouch, and together they bounded away for Dusty Bucket Gully. Can you see them all jumping? Woo! That's why it's called Don't Stand Still Hill. The ants come and bite you. As for Stripey and Leggy, they ran all the way back to Fair Dinkum Flats, faster than they'd ever run before, leaving a trail of ants behind them. Can you see? They're running so fast. All the ants are flying off them. Have you ever been bitten by an ant? Probably not yet, because your mummy doesn't leave you on the ground for too long. In Australia, we have big ants and they bite you really hard. You know who's here? Let me see. And he's cooking my dinner. There's your Poppy Brett.
Hello. Steak tonight. And eggplant. You might know them as aubergines. Capsicum. And mushrooms.
Yeah.
You could like that? Will when I cook it.
We're having a barbecue stack. So, oops, a daisy. So we cook them all on the barbecue and put some spices on, and they'll be nice and crispy, and have that with some steak. We haven't had a barbecue for a while. I loved that story. That was great. I'm going to have to get some more of Wendy Binks' books for you and make a little collection for when you come over and you can take them home with you. Well, it has been a little while. Have you forgotten your nanny dead kisses? I hope not. I've seen some videos of you going nan, 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 nanny, 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 waiting for me at the window. I won't be long, my darling. Hopefully I will see you soon. But do you remember? Nanny dead kisses. And when you come running out and I go, oh, there she is, my Marley May. Love you very much. And I will talk to you soon. Okay, ready? I'll blow you. Big kiss, I hope you get that. Okay, and it's your birthday soon, so Nanny Dev will sing happy birthday to Marley. Oh, and we'll send you lots of presents. Have a nice gift. Okay, well, it's getting a little bit cooler here, and I know it's getting warmer where you are. So today it is raining, and it was cool, but we've been still swimming in the pool, and the sea is lovely. Okay, you be a good girl for your mummy today, and I will talk to you soon. Love you very much. Okay, bye-bye.